Hello and welcome to another episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, well, if it isn't me, Dylan.
I know.
Another gruesome twosome.
Hold your booze. Cease your jeers. I'm here to stay, and you can't stop me.
We're having a jape. Another glorious
jape.
We're having fun over here, if you can't tell. I thought I would change it up a little bit. I've been actually extra nice to you over the past few episodes.
Have you really?
Well, I always try and talk you up, and
right.
You've been kind of saying how uncomfortable it makes you.
That's the real jape.
And so that's the real
what
joke.
a wondrous jogo you've blessed me with.
So I thought I would, introduce you as if you're my partner in crime, but also my
right.
my nemesis at the
of
same
course.
time. If it isn't my one and only.
Look what the piece of garbage dragged in.
No. My friend, my peer, my enemy.
My frenemy.
My frenemy. Well, man, what a fun time tonight was for us.
Oh,
dude,
I needed this.
Yesterday, it was rainy. It's been getting cool around here.
Mm-hmm.
It's been perfect weather for some tea and for relaxing. And
catching up on some shows.
Yes,
playing some movies,
playing some games, doing some things. It's that time of year where I feel like I really blossom into my full personality.
Yeah. Enter your element.
Yes, exactly. It's my
that of which being cold.
Yes. Oh, I just love the cold weather.
Telling me, man, this is the time of year that I genuinely think I look the best.
Yeah.
Only because I get to cover up like most of what I don't like about me.
Oh, well, I mean,
so
I think it's also, I also have a problem with jackets. I like jackets, I like coats. Mm-hmm. But again, we live in Louisiana where it's hot a majority of the year. So the amount of times I get to wear my cool coats is not very many. So now it's the time where I'm like, ooh, it's cold enough.
The weather poses an unfortunate stigma.
Yes.
For the sense of style that I like to carry.
I've already busted out the leather jacket, already got the corduroy jacket out.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's only a matter of time.
It is the Sherpa era.
Oh, yeah. Sherpa era.
Time.
I'm really in my Sherpa phase. Oh, no. Up. Not the Sherpa phase.
Right.
So anyways.
It comes right after the windbreaker phase.
No, I can't deal with this. You know what comes next is the leather jacket phase.
Oh, God.
There's no beating him after that.
He's got a switchblade and a comb.
Oh, man.
You can't beat him. He just gives you mean looks, but never does anything.
He gives me one more finger gun and I just might collapse.
If I hear one more A, I'm going to lose it.
If he winks, I believe I will tremble. Oh, man, I feel like we're like extra unhinged tonight. It's been so fun. Like I said, it's just been.
Is it a full moon?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're on our
the Were Delinquents.
Yes. This episode is coming out directly after Thanksgiving,
which means it is Black Friday.
Black Friday. Yes. We are actually, if you can't tell, we're filming this a little bit earlier than that, but
rare
still
form.
But still, well, the holiday season. I was like, let's try and get some preloaded for the holiday seasons.
Boy, did we!
Oh man!
At one point we had like 3 in the can.
Yeah, 3 in the can.
Damn,
we're doing good.
I can't remember the last time we had that many just at the ready.
I don't know, but so anyways, happy Thanksgiving for all those out there that celebrate. And
I hope you liked your foods. If
you don't, I mean, still, regardless. I mean, I like Thanksgiving for. I've said this on the podcast before.
Foods.
Well, it's the food, and it's also I like just the premise of it. It's like it's a time for all of us to be intentionally grateful for what we have, because sometimes in any given day, any given day, sometimes I personally take for granted some of the things that I have, and it's always nice to just remind yourself, even
It's the annual mandated thankfulness.
Right. It's just a good time for all of us to come together and just keep ourselves in check. That like, hey, sometimes life is fleeting, and it's nice to be appreciative of what you do have,
whether you want to be or not.
Right.
Because if you aren't,
and
I'll find you.
I will force it out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to say thank you, damn it.
You better count those fucking blessings before I take them all away.
Oh, man.
Then you'll see what you'll think. What
Dylan said.
Can you just cut that out, please?
No, of course not.
No, please.
That was gold.
Please cut that out. I swear to God. I never fumble. Please.
That's great.
No, I have to keep my reputation up.
It was authentic.
No.
It was perfect because you didn't
awful.
have to speak words. Hey, what I do, you don't you understand? You better count them.
No one's gonna understand. That was poopy.
That's okay.
Oh, I hate
Anyways,
that so much.
it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Not anymore. I'm pissed.
So I requested to Dylan, I was like, please, if we can. I was like,
please.
Please.
I beg of you.
I was like, let's watch something
nice.
Something light, kind of lighthearted in some way, and or family friendly. I was like, it's the day after Thanksgiving. Let's do something, a little more light, not so heavy,
right.
Not so
Wholesome.
Drama film, wholesome. That's a good.
Which is
one.
why we watched Schindler's List.
Wait a minute.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That'll happen at Christmas.
we watched Kiki's Delivery Service, and I have actually watched this one previously.
Yes.
There was a point in time where you and I kind of went through the gambit of
I took you through the gauntlet
of
Ghibli.
of all the Ghibli films, and it was I mean, not all of them, but like the big ones,
right.
the hard hitters.
Mm-hmm.
This one being one of them.
Yeah.
And
buddy, does this one hit me real hard?
It perfectly describes what I had asked for in like a wholesome film.
Yeah.
It's just
It leaves me reeling every time.
It's there's so many moments that are just a good, kind-hearted movie, For those of you who may not know, it's a story of a young girl who turns 13 and she's a young witch.
Yep.
And apparently
strike out on her own. Independent.
Right, in this universe, that is the time
For
when
a year.
Right.
Something I keep forgetting.
Oh, so it's just for a year?
Just for a year.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
I mean, she probably stays in the town anyway.
I mean, where they go off for a year and kind of train and be independent for apparently a year, and so we start off the film, and that's kind of what's happening. Is everyone's like, I can't believe you're growing up so fast.
Yeah,
and then she
put all that on the plate of a 13-year-old.
Right. I mean, that's
I couldn't imagine.
Well, it's also like it's a different time. When we get into the fun facts, it kind of talks more about what like the setting of this movie is, which is really interesting now that we both kind of analyze it as we're watching the movie, but now that like I see the actual like plan, what they were going for, I was like, okay, that definitely comes across, and we weren't too far off.
Nice.
But it definitely feels like it's an older time. You can tell by the cars and like the pseudo technology they have, where it's like they have phones, radios, but it's not really like cell phones or anything.
Yeah.
So, anyways. So it definitely feels like it's kind of back in the maybe 50s or 60s is what it feels like.
Bunch of Model Ts.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can also tell it's like kind of a different time.
Right.
Hitchhiking's not really a suspicious thing, and you can just like work.
Stick your thumb out.
Yeah. Or you can just like scrub people's floors real good for like compensation of something,
Everybody's super nice.
Right. Happy-go-lucky.
I'm sure that one's played up a bit, but
probably.
God, it sure would be nice if it was like that nowadays.
Yeah, people were just kind-hearted people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shucks.
Woe is me, such and such boo-hoo.
Yeah. Wah,
Wah, wah,
boo. Wah, wah, wah. So, this film is, I hesitate to say like a coming-of-age story. But I guess it kind of is kind of a coming of age in a way. And she starts her own delivery service, flying around in her broom, delivering packages.
It's a bit of a rocky start.
Right.
Tries her best to make a good impression.
Yeah.
Doesn't go too well.
And I just want to say right off the get-go, I love Tombo.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy.
He's pretty cool.
He just, like, Like he seems a bit obsessive at first.
And it starts off a little obnoxious.
A little bit, but it's never
Malicious.
right. It's never mean. It's never creepy.
Not a bully.
He's just kind of fascinated with Kiki.
Right. He's just a loudmouth kid.
Right, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And he's persistent, which is like, I'm kudos to him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many times in this film that he really shows he just wants to be around her.
Yeah.
He just likes her. He thinks she's interesting and just kind of wants to be her friend, or maybe something more than that.
Right.
But there's never an ulterior motive. Like with some,
he just thinks she's a cool witch.
Right. And it's like, and he always calls her Miss Witch, which I think is kind of fun.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a point in time in the movie where he invites her out to a party, and then of course some crazy circumstances cause her to be delayed in like delivering packages and doing things, and it rains and she gets all soaking wet, and he's just like patiently waiting for her outside the bakery, just kind of chilling there. Just a good guy, just trying to be, and the whole reason why he was wanting to, invite her out to this party was he has like this contraption. It's like this propeller bike, which he's kind of like his flying machine. Right. So he just wants to fly. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you kind of see the change in his character, where it doesn't really become like an obsessive. It never really feels obsessive, but it feels like instead of this kid kind of being obnoxious and like just curious about her and kind of being aggravating to a degree, it's like, oh, this is also like kind of adoration as well, where it's like she can fly and just kind of can do it naturally. Mm-hmm. And he's like,
that's so cool.
I want to do that.
That's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Right. And it's like, oh, okay. His character kind of opens up in a way. It's like, oh, there's like a new level, or new layer, I guess what I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like his character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many great, wholesome characters in this movie.
Yeah.
But
my favorite is going to have to be the girl from the woods.
Ursula.
Yes.
What a cool,
super cool, like
cool
big
character.
sister character.
That is really
for
cool.
Kiki.
Yeah. And did you say was that the girl that kind of reminds you of your sister?
Yes, she reminds me of my oldest sister.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And you said that you watched this movie with your family, or with your sisters, like kind
with my youngest sister.
Okay.
I've watched basically every Ghibli film with my youngest, and a couple with my oldest.
Okay.
But yeah, grew up on these.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I see now why some of these are like really good kids movies.
Yeah.
I forgot which one. What was the other one? Was it Totoro? Oh, that was another one that was like really wholesome and just like just such a good like kids movie, but also like had some really good life lesson moments,
Only Yesterday?
I don't remember. And there's like some Ghibli films. I remember like how you watch them and you're just like, oh, what a wholesome film. Right. What a good watch.
They're good movies.
Yeah, good movies.
I don't think anyone's going to dispute that.
No, definitely not. The one thing I will say that I loved about this movie, and I've heard people say Ghibli had a way with like attention to detail, and I agree with that.
Oh yeah,
but I would go even a step further and say there are these touches of realism. It's not just detail. It's not just pretty looking. It is that too.
Right.
But there are these moments that are intentionally human feeling. Mm-hmm. And there's two that I can think of off the top of my head. And it's whenever she loses her powers and she is trying to like run down the hill and is jumping and like kind of hovering but falling. Mm-hmm. There's a point.
Can't quite fly no more.
Right. There's a point in time where she has her broken broom in her hand and is walking up this hill, and as you're looking at the crux of the hill, she's obviously like peering over it, kind of at appearing as though she's like walking up the hill towards us.
Yeah.
And as she's walking, it's steep enough that she actually she slips like her like she's walking up a steep incline and she loses her footing, and it just feels natural.
Yeah.
Nothing feels weird about it, or like it looks like a mistake, but it feels natural and like human, like not perfect. And I was like, it was just a really like a little bitty thing, which I know, like I said, it's probably attention to detail, but it just feels natural. And the other one is when she's like running at the end of the movie down the to go save Tombo as he's like being whisked away by this blimp.
Right.
She's like running around the corner of the sidewalk and steps on a leaf, and as she's turning, it like loses her footing as well, and like almost falls down, but then catches herself and keeps running. Yeah. And it's like that feels like something that like in a real moment someone would do that, where it's like you just misstep for a bit and like, whoa, no, and you just keep running. Yeah. And I love that. There's like so many little things like that in the film. Those are just two examples of it, but things like that just make it feel alive and not just some like picture perfect animation. Right. It's really cool. I love that.
Perfect with its imperfections.
Yes, perfectly imperfect. It's really great.
I think the main thing I like about this film, other than the development of Kiki as a character,
right,
would be the look of the town that she ends up staying in.
Yes.
Just a really like sprawling seaside city.
At first, I know I had talked about this like after we watched it the first time. It looks European in some way, so I thought it was like Italy or France or something. But then as we started seeing like street signs and stuff, it looks like it's Dutch or German, something like that. So I mean, it still fits the vibe, but it definitely has that seaside European village kind of vibe, and it's really cool. Beautiful. Very pretty looking, especially whenever she like gets the map for the first time and is going to do like a long distance delivery, and flies really high up and gets a chance to look at the landscape while also looking at the map. And again, it kind of looks like a 1-to-1 scale because of how high up she is, and it's like, and it's so cool looking. Yeah. Because obviously it's also Ghibli.
Right.
So these like hand painted cells or whatever that just have these beautiful sprawling landscapes. It's like, oh man, how
it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
If I would pay so much money just to go to a town like that.
Oh, I don't doubt it at all.
It's like I'm just gonna type in Google places that look like the Kiki town to see if I can find like the closest resemblance.
That's really cool.
Other than that, what was your favorite part of the film? The whole thing, I know.
Right. It's hard to nail it down. Yeah. I'm trying to think. There are a couple of moments that I feel like really stand out, and it's the one that kind of makes me choked up a little bit is after she goes on a hiatus in the woods with Ursula and kind of discovers herself, which that in and of itself,
that's my favorite part.
That is a great moment too, but is whenever she comes back and Osamon, what's her name? The pregnant lady in the bakery. Osamo.
Yeah, I don't remember.
The pregnant lady at the bakery, who's also kind of like part of her delivery service in a way, is like, that same old lady from before has a package on your way home. Go ahead and talk to her and pick it up. And she's like, yeah, sure, okay. And she goes there, and the old lady's like, oh, just go ahead and take a look at the package. And she opens it up, and it's a cake that says Kiki on it. Yeah. And then the old lady says, I want you to, and you could tell Kiki's kind of surprised by it. And the old lady says, take that to a girl named Kiki. She really helped me out, and let her know that like I really appreciate all that she did. And also let her know, like ask her what her birthday is so that way I can give her more. And then Kiki kind of turns her eyes and kind of gets choked up for a second. And it's such a sweet and wholesome moment because it's like, because of the character progression that she just went through of like feeling like, almost feeling like a failure to a certain degree,
just down on her luck,
and then having that person kind of really kick in and go like, no, there are people out here that really care about you and that really see the benefit that you're doing, and you're doing a great job.
Good on you, whippersnapper.
Right.
Here's a cake.
And it's like,
go get them.
It's that same, I don't know. It really lightens my heart. It makes me feel really choked up in a way.
Really drives home that there's going to be ups and downs.
Of course. But to talk about what you're talking about, you said your favorite part is the time in the cabin where she goes away.
After Kiki starts losing her powers, like she can't fly anymore, she can't talk to Gigi.
Right.
She's just been keeping stock and minding the bakery.
Right.
Because she can't do her deliveries anymore unless it's like within walking distance. And her friend Ursula that she made in the woods comes all the way out from the country just to visit her. And, of course, she tells her that how shitty everything's been and how she's so upset. It's like, well, why don't you just come spend the night in my house with me?
Right.
Just take a little vacation. They'll manage. And I think that is what I like about it so much, that if everything's going to shit, don't freak out, don't panic. Just take a deep breath and take a break. And then get right back to it.
I can say, of all the life lessons that this film really can impart, the biggest one that I have personally, with firsthand experience, have had in the past is that one. Ursula talks about at a certain point, they're kind of confiding in each other at the cabin before bedtime.
Talking about how she couldn't paint for a while.
Right. And there has been so many times as a creative person, making graphic design stuff, editing videos, photography, you name it. All the stuff that I've done, music even, creatively that I've done or had a part in, there's always this point in time where, even today, for instance, is a prime example of that. Of like, I had a hard day at work. It was stressful. I had made some designs, but nothing was really like calling out to me. Nothing that I was like super happy with. There's a point in time where you can just really like beat your head up against it and like really keep trying and like potentially make the situation worse. Or you can just step away from it, take a break. A lot of times for me, what I would do is I would like deliberately go out to lunch, forget about it, take my mind off of it, listen to some music or something. And then a lot of times I would come back and have like a renewed vision of like look at it and go, oh, okay. It's like now that I've had a chance to step away, I now can come at this fresh again. Right. And like I can see where I may have been.
Everything's a bit clearer.
I may have been in a rut, like that kind of thing. And and that's what she was talking about. She's like, sometimes I just would go away, I would stop for a while, and then of course I would come back and go like, oh man, this is exactly what it is. And then that was what what did they say? She said it was like, she had asked, like, I thought you had to say like a spell to fly.
Oh yeah. And
she was like, no, it's kind of just, we use our spirit to fly. And she's like, oh, so it's like the spirit of witchcraft, or I guess it also is like the spirit of an artist or the spirit of
bakers.
Bakers, yeah. It's like, it's that kind of thing where, and that's what it feels like. Is it just it's something inside of you. And sometimes it just takes
hard work and guts.
So again, like I said, if I could say anything, if there's anything you can take away from this, is just if you feel like creatively in a rut or just anywhere in your life, just
any kind of rut will do.
Oh man, just really take a break, take a step away. Even it could be a couple hours, it could even be a few days or a few weeks or whatever.
Yeah,
just take a break from it, forget about it for a while, and then a lot of times, and I've done that numerous times with many things.
Oh yeah,
and I just
happens to everybody.
I've forgotten about it, and then like some of my best creative ideas I've had in the shower, just sitting there, hot water running over me, and just like, oh, I don't know what it is. It just activates that side of my brain or whatever, and I just will have these moments. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I've heard of shower thoughts, but shower ideas?
Well, I mean, I guess for me it's kind of the same thing as what it feels like, but there's been, there's all kind of stuff like that. But you're right. That is a very, very good point in the movie.
Yeah. Really hits me right here.
Right. Do you have any favorite characters besides Ursula, or is that kind of your favorite character, or is there another one?
I gotta go with
whoever the husband character is. Yeah, the baker man, dude.
Yeah.
Guy's so suave.
Dude's awesome.
He's slick.
Mm-hmm. And simultaneously bumbling at the same time.
I don't think he ever actually spoke a word in the entire film.
He just says, hey. That's it.
I love it.
Or look.
I love that. A man of few words, but
many actions.
Yes. Okay, so there's actually a lot to unpack when it comes to kind of the fun facts of this film.
Oh yeah.
And first things first, something that I think is interesting is in the English dub of the film, Kirsten Dunst is the voice actor for Kiki, I believe, which I was like, oh, that's interesting. Mary Jane from the original Spider-Man.
Yep.
What an interesting turn of events. But as I was looking through the American cast here, there is another name on here, which you may not recognize the name, but I know you'll probably recognize his face.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, his name is Matthew Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
What? Matthew Lawrence voices Tombo.
No fucking way.
And for those of you who may not know, he was in Horse Sense.
My God.
He's our main man in Horse Sense. And
that is insane.
Or I think he's he's the brother, I guess.
That's hilarious.
He's in Horse Sense and Jumping Ship and all that stuff. And so
wow.
That is our guy.
That's funny.
Another little nod to Horse Sense, always coming back around.
Chalk that up to another Yancey.
Yeah, another Yancey. And then, so that's a little tidbits right off the top. It says that here, during the production phase, the film's artist and Miyazaki traveled to Sweden to do research for the film. They took photos of Stockholm and Visby to create the concepts for the film, or the film's fictional city of Koriko. That's cool. I will tell you, I just looked at pictures of Stockholm, and look at this.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
I'm going to Stockholm.
Yeah. I didn't want to spoil it for you.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to spoil it for you, but you said I would pay a lot of money to go to a place. I was like, that is the exact clock tower right there.
I gotta go to Stockholm now.
Yeah, Stockholm does look, I mean, it looks very much like the city.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful, man. It looks perfect. What a fun time.
It's just not fair.
It looks very much like it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. Very, very cool. So that's Stockholm for you. Let me see. Can I actually pull it?
It's on the list.
Yeah. Let me see if I can't pull up this photo. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We're looking at pictures of both Koriko and Sweden. It says that the bakery in the movie is called it's gonna be yeah, and I'm gonna try to is Gu Choki Panya. Gu Choki Panya. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Which is actually a bit of a pun on the game of rock paper scissors. Gu means rock, choki means scissors, and pa means paper. And then panya is actually meaning for bakery.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's like
That's
rock, paper,
funny.
scissors, bakery. It's kind of
rock, paper, bakery.
Rock, paper, bakery.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's a little tidbit there. In the Japanese dub of the film, the voice actress that plays Kiki also voices Ursula as well.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Just does both of them.
Couldn't even tell.
I know. It's very
Jeez.
very slick. The film is set in an alternate 1950s Europe and Stockholm, Sweden, obviously, where neither World War happened.
Wow.
Very specific. But I could definitely see how some of the technology and also lightheartedness. There's no, it's not dark at all. It's not, it's very, for 1950s in,
right. Based on like a lot of documentaries
Europe.
And stories I've read about back then, people were just generally more enthusiastic, it seemed.
Oh, yeah. I believe it.
But man, that I'd love to visit that point in time before both world wars.
Oh, yeah. That would be nice. Ursula's painting is called The Ship Flying Over the Rainbow.
Oh, it's actually got a name.
Yes, because The Ship Flying Over the Rainbow was painted by students from a school for challenged children.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's very nice.
Very pretty.
And then the street signs, or street name signs, were taken from real life ones in Stockholm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the designs are the exact same, and some of the street names are even the same ones in Stockholm itself.
Wow. That's funny.
I don't know how many cells are in like a normal film like this at this time, but this one specifically, it said that 67,317 traditional cells were used for this film.
Oh my God.
So that sounds like a lot. I don't have any point of reference, but I mean that number is obviously, in the tens of thousands. So that
big number.
sounds like a lot to handle.
All right.
At the end of the movie, when Kiki writes her letter to her parents, she mentions her friends is as, and of course there's kanji here in Japanese. However, Kiki has actually missed a stroke in the second kanji character.
Oh, really?
And has written the word as, and there's another kanji set right here. It has been suggested that the reason the film's crew decided to add this little detail into the movie was to show how although Kiki has matured and grown during the film, she is still a child and has a lot more to learn.
Right.
Fun.
That's funny.
That is funny. Wow. How interesting and specific. I love it.
Very well written characters.
Just so good.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if there's any more.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're good.
Number 5, the movie is super good.
Yeah.
Number 6, you will watch it.
Right.
Else.
At the end of the story, a man with glasses appears on screen. He is modeled after director Hayao Miyazaki.
Wait, really?
He is in the scene in which many people are watching TV as Kiki heads for the airship to rescue Tombo. A man says, the scrubbing brush Kiki rides is the one.
No way, he was in that scene?
He gave to her.
Oh my God.
He's the guy with the glasses. He's the scrubbing brush guy.
That's funny.
He says, that's my scrubbing brush. In the right corner of the screen, it's not him. It says in the right corner of the screen, director Hayao Miyazaki himself. In his younger days, Miyazaki rarely added his figure in his movies.
Jeez,
this was
take a
also
look at that.
in the pamphlet at the time of the theatrical release.
Huh. That's funny.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Oh, man. Dude, you want to talk about a missed opportunity?
What's that?
Do you remember when they were running the Studio Ghibli movies in theaters.
Yes.
Like showing them.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to go and see those in theaters.
Yeah,
That
would
would
have been nice.
So cool. But alas, I don't know if they're actually planning to do that anytime soon. That'd be
we need to look into it.
Up. Yeah,
it'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy, what a good. It's been a good night.
Yeah,
it's just been a good night.
Mm-hmm.
Past couple days have been nice as well. Just be able to relax and.
Yeah, I actually had some days off.
Yeah,
2 days off.
Love it. Did you have back to back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday and Monday. I mean, Saturday and Sunday.
That's
if you
fun.
remember.
I do.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, there's not like having 2 off days together.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like the planets align sometimes.
It's probably going to be another couple months before that happens again.
Gosh, I hope not, man.
I'm working my butt off.
I
dude.
know you're freaking kicking ass over here. Hauling ass with 2
like
shovels.
everything's kicking my ass.
yeah.
And I'm getting paid for it.
Right.
Not much.
Oh, man. Well.
It's okay. Got to take your licks before you can make anything of yourself.
So which of the Ghibli films have I not watched so far? I know Ponyo is one of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ponyo.
I want to watch Tales. Is it Tales from the Earthsea?
Tales from Earthsea.
Tales from Earthsea. I want to watch that one again.
Yeah.
I just want to hear Willem Dafoe again.
Yeah.
He did such a good job with that character.
Mm-hmm.
So creepy and cool.
Yeah. Let's see what else. You haven't watched. What was it called? Shit, I can't remember. It would be easier to name which ones you have seen.
I know.
And then just remember which
I think
ones.
I've seen the classic. We've obviously done Mononoke on this podcast. We've now done Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yep. You've seen Nausicaa.
Nausicaa, which is a really good one.
Yeah.
Valley of the Wind.
Mm-hmm. Castle in the Sky.
Castle in the Sky. It's been a long time since I watched that one. The Wind Rises.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That one hurt.
Oh, man, that one hurts real bad.
Porco Rosso.
Oh, man, I love that one.
Oh, yeah.
What a fun time that one is.
Grade A material. That
yes.
One.
I feel like there's an obvious one that I'm forgetting, but I
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away.
My Neighbor Totoro. Howl's
Yeah.
Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle is another good one I like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to watch. I think I've watched Howl's Moving Castle at least twice. I need to watch Tales from Earthsea again.
Yeah.
Because I just remember leaving that one and like feeling strongly about it, like liking it.
Oh yeah.
I remember leaving that one going like, I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
I just need to watch it again to reiterate that before I say it's my favorite.
Right.
You know,
gotta get your ducks in a row.
Right.
Really
I like to,
them.
Yeah, I like to
turn them into concrete ducks.
Right. I like to test them out a few times and like really narrow down which one's my favorite before I really commit.
Medusa your opinions, if you will.
Right. Look them real hard in the eye.
Right.
Man. I mean, I can't really think of anything else to add to this movie. It's just a wholesome film. And
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen any of the Ghibli films, do yourself the honor of, however you may stream them or get them, I would 100% recommend it.
Oh, yeah.
They're just
unbeatable.
They're good films.
Yes.
I still will not forget for the life of me that I never watched any of Ghibli films, but from my knowledge of what I knew what they were, I knew they were kind of like kid adjacent films,
right.
Or they are films that are
for
applicable
all ages.
For all ages.
Mm-hmm.
And they have great life lessons in them.
Right.
And I knew that because again, I had coworkers that have like told me that before.
Mm-hmm.
They're like big fans of the franchises. And I'll never forget the first one we watched is Princess Mononoke, and then we're not even 10 minutes in. This dude's freaking shooting arrows, and I mean
taking people's heads
taking
off,
people's heads
taking
off,
their arms off.
I mean gore.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what am I like? Normally that stuff, obviously if I'm prepared for it, if I'm watching an R-rated movie and like someone gets their head knocked off, I'm
no.
okay, whoa.
Anyway.
The fact that I was like going into this thinking it was gonna be like a Disney film and watching a guy get his arm severed off, I was like, oh my god, I'm so shocked, and it was just my expectation was definitely like throttled hard. I was like, man, I am freaking out.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So anyway, but again, great movie though.
My favorite.
Trippy.
A little bit.
The celestial deer god. Yeah, that turns into like an amorphous Cthulhu monster.
Right.
Yeah, dude. I was like, as I was watching it, I was like, man, I'm on one right now, and I'm loving it. It's great.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, you're right though. A great film.
Oh yeah.
Just like many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you have anything else you want to add to this one? You want to talk about anything else? Are you doing anything fun? You're blazing a trail through Mass Effect.
I am, yes. Okay, see if we could just go on a little tangent about that.
Yeah. Sorry for this can of worms, though, but hold on one second.
Give me your impressions of the series based on what tertiary knowledge that you've absorbed through my playthroughs.
It looks... The story as a whole seems super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see why the franchise like popped off the way it did.
Mm.
I never really got into it because I just never got around to it really.
Yeah.
But I was never against anything about it.
It was just kind of there for you.
Right. I had other BioWare games that I was playing throughout the time. Like, so I was like my like hardcore like RPG games were pretty solid. I think by the time that these games were coming out. I mean, it has just like BioWare has done in the past with Knights of the Old Republic, the Old Republic, Mass Effect, Dragon Age. If there's one thing that they can do right, and they have done right numerous times in the past, it's like a solid RPG.
Mm-hmm.
And like just watching you play through the first one and like a little bit of the second one, I like, especially the first one, I see touches of, I see Knights of the Old Republic, but like polished.
Oh yeah.
And like a little different, but not tremendously different. And then of course, I think as it's gone along, I think it definitely has got its own feel about it.
Yes.
And the story progression sounds
insane.
I don't know. It looks like a fun franchise, and I definitely want to give it a shot one day.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a lot like The Witcher as well, where I know it's a big franchise. I have the games, but I'm also nervous to start them because I know how I am, and once I start, I can't stop.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least that's how I am. So I know that I would like to, but I got to really prepare myself.
I like to think of it as going through a checklist.
Right.
There are more than a few goals that I have in mind whenever I start playing these games again that I have to get done. And if I don't, the playthrough is ruined for me.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's because if even a single thing is out of place or wrong, you know this.
Oh, yes.
You've seen
the suicide mission.
Oh, my God. It made me want to commit suicide.
Because you failed.
I did.
I'm kidding.
I lost one.
He lost like a tertiary companion. He was really sad about it. And I was like, did they actually have like a whole lot of weight? And you're like, no, not really.
No,
but
it sucks that they're dead.
And I was like, I mean, you're not wrong.
Bothers the hell out of me.
I don't blame you. I'm a perfectionist. I don't think you understand. So like, trust me when it comes to like a perfect checklist and it not only you not being able to get 100%, not only just the idea of not getting 100%, but the fact that you're also like, there's no going back and you can never get 100%. Now it's like, nah, it's ruined. I want you to take this whole thing and put it in the trash.
Right. If it were a major character that died, I would have restarted my whole playthrough of 2.
Oh gosh.
I'm not.
I'm not. Hear me when I say I'm not saying that as like oh my God, that's crazy. I'm saying that in like oh my God, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand 100% what you're talking about. So all you got to save as you go.
Yeah.
Just gotta put new saves in there.
Everywhere.
Don't overwrite.
Save
just
scum.
Save scum, all of it. All 99 slots.
Right.
Yeah, right.
We don't deal with no one slot bitches in this in this house.
Yo, are you a 1 slot bitch?
Nah, get the fuck out of my house.
I don't talk to you unless you're at least a 5 slot deep, bitch. I want you to have 2 saves, at least 3 auto saves, and maybe a quick save.
Mm-hmm. Anything less than that.
Right. What are you doing?
Question. Get out.
Who are you? I love it. I told that to Chase as well. We were talking about New Vegas, and he was talking about the fact that it was like it would freeze on him, or it would lock up, or whatever would happen, as many Bethesda games do sometimes.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, there's this nifty feature where all you gotta do is just press F5 and it quick saves. And I was like, that is sometimes a crutch, but also a valuable tool in case something happens. There have been numerous times when I'm like, I'm about to do some dumb shit. Boom, quick save.
Right.
And then I do whatever I want. I'm like,
so
just in
funny.
case.
Many funny situations can arise from that.
Oh, so many.
Thus the infamous NPC talks shit to your player character.
Yes. Quick
save in the bottom left corner.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's that
good.
It's that same meme that's like, yo, why is our boss fight music? Or that kind of thing. It's like quick save. Yeah. Hands down. Something shady's about to happen.
Oh yeah.
There's been numerous times where I've gone into like a mission or something, and I was like, I don't quite know how this is gonna go. A prime example of this, let me just give you a little story time. Mm-hmm. There is a DLC in New Vegas where you are taken through this like valley, like you're like with this caravan, like you're trying to get from point A to point B, point B like being like the destination of this DLC.
Yeah, and
this caravan has been like kind of nice to you and has been like, you can just travel along with us. It's probably safer that way. It's not a big deal, and you can just. They've been kind of cool, and you kind of make friends at the top of the DLC, so you're already kind of like sort of making connections. You're like, I know how this is gonna go. You make some character friends or whatever, and of course we're gonna probably make our way to the destination, and then maybe we can do some side quests together or something. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
What was not told to me was that in the valley there are assassins, and you are supposed to hard wipe. Like the whole caravan dies, but you and like 1 or 2 of the people get like dragged away. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you, I saved before I went, and I tried and I tried and I tried, God. and I so many times did I get there and I killed because I knew all of where they were at that time, and I walked in the valley knowing where they were, and I started like popping off shots before they started shooting anything.
Right.
But no matter how hard I tried, everyone died.
Damn.
And when I tell you, I felt so much like a failure, and I was like, I tried so hard to save all these people, and I can't. And I just had to like suck it up and continue on.
I can only imagine the look on your face as soon as you found out. It's like, oh, that was just supposed to happen.
Or I found out the hard way. I think I had like looked up something, like I looked up an article about it or whatever. And they're like, no, there's no possible way. Even with cheat codes, if you like kill all the assassin NPCs, they're like are kind of ghost shots that come off like out of nowhere, and they deliberately kill them. Like it's hard coded in the game that they're like quote unquote shots that are fired that kill them, and it's like, oh man, I didn't know that. So. Anyways, so I like just know that I was like that.
All dead.
Oops, all dead. I was so just distraught.
Yeah.
It took me a little bit of time to like really get over that.
Man, that's funny.
I got to the destination, like kind of played through like the first little mission of it, and then I just left. I was like, I can't stand to look at this.
Fucking done.
I'm done. I tried
so hard. All my friends are dead.
All my friends are dead. Yeah. Oh man, it was a lot of fun. So, like I said, it can be a crutch sometimes, but sometimes it's also very valuable where it's like, I did something dumb and I ruined this. Let me go ahead and just restart this.
Right. Completely free of repercussions.
Right.
A get out of jail free card.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What a fun time.
Yeah. I'm almost through with them, though.
Yeah.
You're slowly getting through Mass Effect 3.
Are you like almost done with Mass Effect 3?
Almost.
Really?
I've got like I think I'm like
I
at
feel
the
like
second half of the game.
Okay, well, I thought you were like really close to finished. Because I was going to say, I was like, if you're almost done with it, that seems like the quickest one out of all three of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all of them can be done quickly if you decide to ignore like most of the side stuff.
Right.
But it's just not as good if you do.
Of course.
Like
with most things in those kind of games.
Right.
Sometimes you get over leveled a little too much and it's too easy, but then sometimes like you can really shoot yourself in your foot if you don't.
Yeah.
Like the MMO, Star Wars The Old Republic. If you really start like cracking down on side quests, you can get over leveled.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little time, but like if you just plow through the main quest, it will out level you fast. And you're like, oh, okay, I gotta go do some work. But I definitely have I've polished off a planet or two and been like, oh buddy, I'm set.
Right.
So yeah.
Everything dies with a tap.
Oh yeah. Easy.
To the shoulder.
Another thing that we haven't actually talked about on this episode that I'm only going to touch lightly on because I do want to talk about this more later is that we have finally got a group together and have been playing Star Wars Force and Destiny.
Yeah.
The role-playing game.
It's been pretty swish.
I've been trying so hard to like start this really and get it off the ground.
Yeah.
And I know there's so many people out there that have played Dungeons and Dragons and played role-playing games, and there's like ways to get a party together and all that kind of stuff. But I specifically wanted to get my friends involved in playing a role-playing game with me, and we finally got a nice sizable crew together.
Mm-hmm. A party of 5.
And so far, I'm having so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
I'm the GM for the game, and it has been so much fun to write the story, create the story. And then also to have all you guys like really experience it and have fun with it. And it's just been so much fun. Mm-hmm. So there's so many things that there's a lot of games that I was playing that have really taken a backseat. Destiny. That have really taken a backseat because I've been focusing on that and other stuff with like work and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So just a little tidbit. I'm really excited. There's no way I can possibly do this with this setup and with this many microphones.
Yeah.
But I really thought about doing like an actual play podcast where it's like we actually play through the game, like record it and make it a podcast episode. Because I've listened to a handful of those, like actual plays of like Dungeons and Dragons or even Star Wars Force and Destiny. And they're so cool, and I want to do it. But I was like, nah, I just want this to be for us. Yeah. It's going to be just an us thing for a while. Mm-hmm. I got speakers set up. Got them in stereo parallel.
The atmosphere.
Got sound effects. Got some music happening.
It's perfect.
We just had a handful of... we had kind of a last-minute session because we had some, like... We're going into the holiday season. Got some change of plans. Got some things happening. Right. So I made do, but I definitely had to, like, polish up my notes within 12 hours of when we're going to be doing the game session. Yeah. So I was like, okay, so like the heavy story beats are going to be for our next session. Right. So I was like, I'm going to try and pad this session out with a handful of encounters. And they I
was like, hey, are you free today? Oh, it's like, oh no, I've got to work that entire day. It's like, okay. It's tomorrow. Then.
Yeah. So it's tomorrow or another like 3 or 4 weeks. And it's like, well, tomorrow it is. Yeah. And I'm so
doing it live.
I'm so happy with how it turned out, though. Yeah. It was really good. It went
pretty good.
I think it went really good. Again, probably not as fun and immersive, but I mean, you guys did some really great work with those pirates.
Boy, did we! Oh man, many a leg was blown.
Oh man, I don't know what it is. There's a fascination with blowing people's legs off in this campaign, and it's
blowing
funny.
People's anything off.
Oh yeah,
we've dismembered folks from head to toe.
It's a little more gritty Star Wars than you're used to,
right?
But there's one guy in particular. He was on his. I almost said this unintentionally. He was on his last leg. I'm pretty sure he had very little health left, and I'm pretty sure Dylan's character just stood there and literally shot him in the kneecap and blasted his leg off. Yeah. And I was like, wow.
It was great.
So that's the kind of game we're playing here. And then of course, while he's standing there, all nearly lifeless, they're like, "Now tell us what we want to know." And
now talk.
Like, oh God, man, this is so heavy.
Oh, man.
I love it though. It's great.
Great.
I love it. So, anyways, just little tidbits. But anyways, thank you so much for listening. We both here, all of us here at Aftermath. We hope you have a happy holidays, whatever you may celebrate. A Merry Thanksgiving and whatnot. But if you're looking to get in touch with us, you can type in Linktree/Ian Wolf, and you can find all of our links and ways that you can reach out to us and platforms you can listen to us on. But
not me though. I don't talk to people.
I don't talk to people unless it's on this medium right here.
Right. This is the only way you can talk to me.
But anyways, until next week, thank you so much for listening.
See you later.
Bye-bye.